Evening, everyone. We're about to answer the age-old question. Can they do it underneath the live lounge lights on a Thursday night here at the Super Series? As Group B gets underway here in Portsmouth, 5 real high-class players with big CVs in action tonight. And here's who's coming up. Chris Quantock is playing in the ADC belt match on Saturday. In his second appearance here at the Super Series, he failed to make it through to the finals last time out. John Brown is the previous PDC tour card holder. He's also made it through to a Saturday here at the Live Lounge. He'll hope to use this as a springboard going into the end of the year. Richie Houghton lost famously in the 9-dart shootout at the Super Series to a certain Chris Mason. With 3 seniors TV finals under his belt, he's looking to lift the winner's trophy this time. Neil Duff has thrown some steady stuff at times. The Duffman is looking to defend his Lakeside title come December, but will hope he has a Champions Week to prepare prior to it. And Jared Cole has improved day upon day this week. The only player to dispose of Alex Spellman in the group, can the King of the Castle christen the church? He had a penchant for the bullseye yesterday. He loves a bit of bully. Indeed, he does love a bit of bully. Joining me up here on the balcony tonight to describe all the actions. A very good evening to the always brilliant Mace the Ace, Chris Mason. Chris, what a night we've got in action this evening. Yeah,
it's fascinating, isn't it? We've seen plenty of Jared and Neil this week to know that there's some good form in there. Jared was a bit slow out of the blocks. We've seen a couple of 100 averages from Neil Duff. So, yeah, could be a good night.
So if you've joined us for the first time this week, we're halfway through our action. This is the tournament bracket. Yesterday, we confirmed the place of Alex Spellman into Saturday night's final here at the Live Lounge. And this afternoon, we've got Group C underway. And I'll tell you what, Tom Sykes, the debutant, the ADC player, I've not seen him in front of the TV screens before, but as far as debuts go, they're not going to get much better than that.
No, he was brilliant, wasn't he? He actually opened up with a near 102 average on debut, reminiscent of what Cam Crabtree did, of course, with well, a little bit better than that, wasn't it? 115. But yeah, stunning performance. Backed it up with another 100+ average. Looks very good. Looks a bit of a find and looked really comfortable doing it. Wasn't particularly animated. Took it all in his stride. Very cool, very calm, and ultimately very calculated.
Most certainly. Right, let's have a look at the table then following the first day in Group C, because joining him on 8 points is John Worsley. Now, we come to expect big things from John here at the Super Series, and he lived up to that today.
Yeah, absolutely. He was the 6-4 favourite, very much like Alex Spellman was the 6-4 favourite to win Group A. He's right up there where he'd want to be, at the top of the table, only behind on leg difference to Tom Sykes. But Tom Sykes started off the 12-1 shot to win this group, and or that group, should I say. And he's in a great position to qualify. Top 2 qualified from that group, so still a bit of work to do.
We're going to see that action resume from 1 o'clock on the Super Series YouTube channel and on Sporty Stuff TV from 3 p.m. But our focus tonight is very much on Group B, and these are the participants involved and their odds according to the bookmakers this evening. They have Richie Houghton out at the 13-10 favourite, considering his form in the World Seniors this year, making 3 of the 4 televised finals. Is that a justified favourites tag for you?
Yeah, I think just about. But Neil Duff won't be too fearful. Of course, they met recently in the World Seniors match play, and it was a fabulous game. It went all the way. Went to extra time with Neil Duff just edging it 11-9. So, yeah, I think that's just about right with the top 2. But you never know with Quanny and John Brown. It was a bit of an unknown quantity in Tom Sykes today, and he produced the goods. So we don't know too much about Chris Quantock or John Brown's form right now. Neither have been playing a great deal of darts that we can sort of see on in terms of being recorded. But that doesn't mean they may not be in the mix come tomorrow night.
But can that make them just as dangerous, because nobody knows what kind of form they're in at the minute?
Yeah, maybe they don't, and there's no expectation then. They just come in and free roll a little bit. They're, you know, very much like John Worsley. I spoke to him this morning. He said, not been playing a lot of darts, playing the odd league game, and it's very much an open book.
Well, let's have a look and see what the Bet Builder odds book looks like this evening. This is an amalgamation of bets that make their way through the exchanges, and we put them into a handy little accumulator for you. It gets started right from the get-go with our first game of the evening session. We then have the handicap betting involving Neil Duff against John Brown and Richie Houghton in the handicaps against John as well. It looks like that they're going for 3 players as opposed to the other 2 in the group with a betting tonight.
Yeah, don't like that at all. And remember, these are the most popular ones on the exchanges. No wonder they don't win too much money on the darts, because they're 3 horrific bets that I wouldn't go anywhere near.
Right, Chris Mason with his honest
Well,
appraisal.
we'll see if I'm right, won't we, in a couple of hours' time? Who knows?
Exactly. Chris will either be right or he's going to be wearing some Spider-Man pyjamas tomorrow morning. Right, let's get into our first game of the evening session. It sees Chris Quantock in action. He takes on Jared Cole, who we've seen this week take out a 160 on the ball nonetheless. Had over 140,000 views on social media, apparently 139,500 marked by Jared himself. Right, he takes on Chris Quantock in the first game of the evening session. And early on this evening, I caught up with Kwani to get his assessment of what's to come. Chris, back for another crack here at the Super Series. How much looking forward to the next couple of days?
It should be fun. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. The title match is going to be like the big thing for me, really, I suppose.
So we were here a couple of months ago. Where's the game been since?
Probably around the same. Just need to hone some sort of doubles in, I think. Hopefully that happens this time.
With a little bit of luck. So going into tonight's group, and this is a really, really tough group full of players who either had tour cards, done really good stuff on the senior tour. But look, we've seen from you in the past how you can mix it with the best in the world.
Yeah, well, you know, I've been there, I've tried it. We'll see just see what happens tonight. You know, not hold any high, sort of not putting myself under pressure. Just see what happens.
As you mentioned earlier on, ADC belt match for yourself on Saturday. Looking to defend your title. How important would that be for you to retain that belt on Saturday?
Well, it'd be nice because it's against obviously a fellow Yorkshire lad, Tom, quality player. So it'll be fun.
Well, I wish you all the very best tonight, Chris. Good luck.
Thank you.
So first up for us, Jared Cole and Chris Quantock on this Thursday night worth of darts. Can the king of the castle christen the church, or will Kwani be swanning his way towards finals night? Let's find out alongside Chris Mason in the commentary box for all the action. It's a very good evening to Laura Turner.
Very good evening to you too, Henry. And I'm going to have to quiz you later, and I'm definitely going to ask Chris about this, about his Spider-Man pyjamas that he may end up wearing if that bet doesn't go that way. But yeah, this is a great opener for us. I mean, we've seen Jared Cole day on day just get better and better throughout Group A. Had an outstanding match to get through to this Group B stage, and just got that unknown quantity slightly, as we mentioned with Chris Quantock.
Looks like Chris to throw first.
Be interesting to see how this one goes.
Game on. He had that big match Wednesday. It was the penultimate game of the session to guarantee his place in
96.
tonight's Group B. And Group B, a 5-player field, so 10 matches to bring you. But more importantly for the players, it's the top 3. So 60% chance of qualifying. Interestingly, Chris Quantock using,
1 out of them,
pretty
40.
sure they're Nathan Aspinall darts. They are a lovely dart, by the way. I don't get any commission, just in case anybody asks.
44. 46. 95.
Well, we kind of saw it today, didn't we, with the kind of players coming in a bit fresh
34.
into earlier on. It was Group C, this Group B, that both Sykes and Worsley, first time we've seen them this week, and both top in the table.
57.
Yeah,
we
looked at them, and usually it's the players maybe on the majority of occasions coming in fresh,
65.
take a bit of time to warm to the task. But that certainly wasn't the case today. And of course, Tom Sykes in the opening game produced that 101.90 average. So the only thing we could refer to as warming up was the opening leg, which was a 20 darter, and then he went 12, 15, 12. That's a steady enough start.
To first, game on.
For Chris. 17 dart hold.
1 out of them,
It was quite interesting
40.
as well when Henry was speaking to Chris earlier, and he's got real focus on that ADC belt match, which will be against Tom Sykes. And I imagine he would have seen how Tom played today. So
yeah, he would know all about him. And of course, Chris Quantock is the current
55.
belt holder, so it's him defending that Yorkshire title.
57.
Gives him great bragging rights, doesn't it, in the area?
$123. 58. 67.
Well, you can go treble 20 for
95.
Wow,
Jada
what a
Ducal,
dart that was.
116.
Could have gone treble 20. It would have left 167.
84.
Jared tidies up nicely,
Ducal,
but
170.
the big issue he had Monday, which put him in a bit of trouble early on, was the finishing, wasn't it?
50. Jada Ducal,
If he
32.
wasn't pinning it first start, he was chasing it around the board. But he got it right on Wednesday and, for the most part, on Tuesday.
Game shot on the second leg. Jared Cole.
One apiece.
Yeah, it's almost quite deceptive,
Third
isn't
leg,
it? With the way
Christensen
that
first. Game
Jared's
on.
darts land and the board looks very, very difficult to get round, but seems to find a way.
Yeah, he stands slightly to the right,
60.
and they go in very much on a right angle. When we take that other shot over their shoulder, we'll have a look at that later in the leg.
93.
You will actually see how much they do lay across the target area.
96.
I think we can take a look right now. There you go. Look, they are. And with a fairly big flight nowadays to what most use,
134.
that's why he ultimately had to go bull, wasn't it? And the fact that the dart wasn't particularly secure. For a very
100.
neutral looking dart by Chris Quantock.
$87. 121.
Just flicked out his flight there, but a bit of deflection on that last start.
I mean, that's the perfect placement for him, isn't it? When the
171.
first
Ducal,
trebles to the right of the
124.
target. Treble 18. Would have left ball.
42. Jada Ducal, 16.
This would be for a break, a throw.
8. Chris Ducal, 82.
And that kind of goes back to what you were saying earlier, Chris.
That's a poor one. Treble 13. Would have left double 16. So Jared Cole getting another
60.
opportunity
Jada
to
Ducal,
break
8.
throw. And Chris Quantock's left double 11.
Getting shot on the third
Gets there
leg.
in the
Jared
end.
Cole. Fourth leg, Jada to throw first. Game on. $122.
He certainly found his scoring boots after a fairly sedate start.
43. 96. 93.
Yeah, good switch there, but should say Jared's just finding some scoring power here. Should
121.
look at going 3-1 from this position.
62. Sorry, 81.
Jared now in control of the leg and the match.
105.
Averaging into the 90s now.
134. Jada Ducal, 57.
And this feels very much like what you were saying before, as
Game shot on the fourth
Jared,
leg.
as he
Jared Cole.
wins his third leg. He's being able to build on what he's done so far this week.
Fifth leg,
Whereas
Chris to throw first.
Chris
Game on.
probably just not quite comfortable up there yet.
No, absolutely not.
83.
And Jared very much is a
57.
confidence thrower, isn't he? You can watch him almost
60.
grow through the week.
$140.
He's no stranger to some big matches, is he? He beat Martin Adams at the last WGF World Championships.
Yeah, big moment for him.
140.
It was a tough draw, but he did play very well.
180.
First max of the match.
58. WK 124.
Yeah, first opportunity here for Jared Cole for the match. Yeah, we'll go this
56.
time. And
Chris Ricard 160.
Chris hasn't yet shown signs of this kind of checkout.
No.
Not going to go.
He's only had a couple of 2 treble visits
100.
in the
Jared
whole
O'Connor,
match. So
68.
to wrap it up in surprisingly quick time. Certainly thought he would. Oh, that's perfect. Ooh.
52. Chris Ricard 60.
To keep the match alive. He's going to have to move.
Game shot on the
Finds
fifth
the
leg.
tops
Chris
of his last
Bonto.
dart. Takes it to a 6th leg, but Jared has the darts here. And you'd fancy
Sixth
him
leg, Jared to throw first. Game on.
to get it done.
$100. $78.
Yeah, well, one match start come and gone so far for Jared Cole.
$60.
And is that a bit of an opening there for Chris Quantock?
Could be, but needs to find troubles, and he's just not finding them with enough regularity.
96.
Paying the price for a couple of missed early darts at doubles.
100.
At the moment, the bigger scores are looking more likely to come from Jared Cole.
140.
The longer Corny hangs around, the more you think is going to steal the points.
45.
And as you mentioned, Jared Cole, you get the impression is very much a confidence player, and sometimes you can just sow that seed
62.
of doubt even mid-match, even when you're 3-1, 3-2 ahead, 3-1 ahead. Couple of misses
Start
and
to question yourself, don't you?
yes.
119. Chris Ricard 125.
Treble 20. Ooh, long way off.
45. Jared O'Connor 77.
Fancy this.
37. Chris O'Connor 80.
Well, Chris saved it with a 60 finish. Now looking at 80, needs double 10.
Oh, I don't even think he can. Well, he's going to have to go to the high side. Well,
70.
2 darts for
Jared
3-3.
O'Connor 40.
To wrap it up, 4-2.
Game
It's
shot of the
tops.
match, Jared Cole.
Does wrap it up, but not before surviving a bit of a scare from an under par Chris Quantock. But it is Jared Cole who takes the 2 points, 89.08 the average, just the 180 in the match to Jared Cole. Fairly steady enough, finishing 4 from 12, 33.3%. When we come back, John Brown will be facing Neil Duff.
It's getting a little bit electric inside the live lounge team. It's the first party I've been invited to for a number of years. As Jared Cole, before the break, gets the better of Chris Quantock by 4 legs to 2. And the great news is we are now 1/3 of the way through the bet builder, which means we're 1/3 of the way through to Chris Mason possibly wearing some Spider-Man pyjamas here at the Super Series. Next up, it's game 2 of the night and part 2 of that bet builder as John Brown takes on Neil Duff. I'm heading on to the Argos catalogue whilst Laura and Chris describe this match.
Thank you very much, Henry, I think. Yes, so the bet builder was Duff to win 4-2 or better against JB. Bristol's very own John Brown, and if you're new to the game, son of Steve Brown, an accomplished professional player himself, who's actually played many a time down here at the Super Series, as well as many World Championships.
First leg, John to throw first.
And of course the brains initially behind the JDC, which has gone on from strength to strength, and now more in the senior game, the ADC.
140. $45.
Well, arguably Neil Duff in that Group A, finished second. Alex Spellman really did run away with it, just losing the one game to Jared Cole.
57.
He was just too good, wasn't he, Spellman? Just too consistent.
Very strong, but he's now given us an expectation. We expect quite a bit from Neil Duff based on what we've seen. John Brown, haven't seen a great deal of him of late, a bit like Chris Quantock.
Yes. Yes, coming in as an unknown quantity in terms of their current form. I did have a good catch-up with John Brown a little bit earlier, and sort of spent some time in the practice room just viewing what was happening with the throw and everything else. Looked very comfortable, feels very confident, and we're seeing why. Former tour card holder, of course.
180.
There you hear that familiar bellow from referee Paul Hinks. That's 180 of the match.
Well, he's a busy boy, isn't he? He's going to have done 2 consecutive weeks here, and then
game shot on the first
if he hasn't had enough of darts, he's refereeing on Sunday in the Yorkshire County game. But that's a
like Neil to throw first. Game on.
Blistering start from JB, 13 darter, 180 in the leg. I think we know from that he's playing okay.
Yeah, he's not doing too bad, is he?
100.
As you mentioned, a former tour card holder, and that's no mean feat getting through that Q score. It's a minefield, isn't it?
It is tough going.
83.
Did attempt my first Q school earlier this year. Just managed to do the one day just to open it up.
Just get a feeling for it.
Yeah, did win my first game, which was potentially more than I expected, because, like you say, it's an absolute minefield based on the draw.
Yeah, and it's a sharp
59.
pull. Yeah, I don't envy anybody having to go through the rigors of Q school, especially now 85. If you start from the beginning, because it's a long time and a lot of matches. A long time just to try and maintain peak form.
93. The other car, 136.
Another one of those leaves 88.
Game shot in the second leg. Neil Duff.
180 and a 13 darter in leg 1 from John Brown, a 12 darter and a 136
so like John to throw first. Game on.
For Neil Duff in leg 2. Game on.
Yeah, it was very much, I see your 13 dot and I raise you a 12.
Yeah.
140.
Maybe JB will pop in an 11 and say, now it's your turn, pal.
As long as it, crescendos into a 9 darter, then, we'll be more than happy.
We have enough time.
135. 100.
Messes with my mind when I see John Brown because I knew his father all his life and sort of look at him and go, yep, that's definitely John.
Yeah, it's a carbon copy almost, isn't it? Yeah.
$40.
Break a throw opportunity now presents itself. And Neil Duff scoring here.
140.
135, 140, 140.
Yeah, I don't think he really appreciated having that 13 dart done against him in the open. It's really a
100.
nil
Neil
down.
Duff 86.
Treble 18. Ooh, treble 15 for tops. Gets it. What a recovery dart.
66.
That would have been for
John
back-to-back
Nicole,
12 dart
121.
legs. And John's going to have to produce one here. Treble 17 and ball. Gets it.
96.
Wow.
Neil Duff 20.
Literally a couple of mil over the top.
Game shot on the third leg. Neil Duff.
Yeah, no messing there from Neil Duff, and that's a breaker throw. That was a 13 dart breaker
Fourth
throw.
leg Neil to throw first. Game on.
So in terms of the averages, absolutely nothing splitting these two at the moment.
We like
100. $125.
that. Did see
59.
Neil Duff producer, average of 103.66 in his Group A campaign. He also had another one over a ton in defeat, didn't he?
90.
Yeah,
To
the day,
Spellman.
I was going to say the day I joined you on Wednesday. Then I caught up with Neil afterwards. He went, how do I go up there and lose with 101? How do I beat Alex Spellman? I think everyone's going to have to answer that question when
100.
it comes to Saturday's final.
Oh, yesterday we saw Gary Anderson on the Pro Tour lose with a near 110.
140.
Battling hard here, JB. Trying hard to break back.
60. John
And
Nicole 146.
Got 2 visits if he needs them to get rid of 146. Needs to keep it simple.
59.
Well, Neil apply some pressure on the 87.
59. John
Not too
Nicole
bad.
87.
So that leaves double 18. Double 9, and it can get awkward.
69.
If you're going to miss, that's
Neil
the right
Nicole
side to miss on. But
123.
Duff back for 1, 2, 3.
Treble 19 leaves 66. That leaves 104. Treble 18 leaves ball. We'll stay there.
91.
Now there's real
John
pressure
Nicole
on double
18.
9. Straight
Game
for
shot
it.
on the fourth leg. John Brown.
Well, you know, it's not a bad game when the longest leg of the match is that one, a 16 dart breaker throw. And he
Fifth leg
did
John
miss
to throw
double
first.
18 for
Game
a
on.
14 and a 15. We've got ourselves a level game.
57.
Yeah, but similar to Neil Duff in the last leg, just wasn't able to kick off probably well enough on throw, and JB's opened the door here, and
140.
Duff replies with a 140.
$97. $100. $93.
chance here really for Neil to leave himself on something quite handy.
He's going to do just that, isn't he? Very handy.
180. 59. Neil the car 81.
Yeah, just checking the score.
Yeah, didn't
41.
need to do anything dramatic.
Oh, and Neil Duff looking for another 13-dart breaker throw.
100. Neil the car 40. 20. John the car 95.
Oh, what an opportunity. Is he going to go for the ball? No. He's got double 19, double 19. I think he was a bit
39.
indecisive.
Neil the car 20.
He just looked like he couldn't quite make his mind up. Just edge in off that. And about that much again.
Knock score.
Wow.
John the car 56.
Oh, we can't believe it. I don't think he can. 16 tops.
Game shot on the fifth leg. John Brown.
JB somehow gets the hold of throw, but it's,
Six leg
I
Neil
suppose
the
leg
first.
three, he'd be
Game on.
thinking to himself, well, I did have an opportunity that I spurned, and well, Neil's just sort of, well, he's not sort of handed
30.
one back, he's gifted one back, and with the 30 start, he may have gifted him the match.
57.
Yeah, I'd say Neil Duff from looking immaculate on the doubles.
140.
As you say, really did gift an opportunity, but you've still got to take it.
Yes, very much so. In the scoring phase, they're
140.
very similar. Just the one more score in terms of the scores between a ton and
57.
139, and just the one more 180 for Neil Duff. Both with full 140s.
140.
Oh, that's a brilliant 140. And this ever a bad one, but that was very creative.
Yeah, and it's
60. John
I've
Ricard
said it before, but that fifth leg
164.
always just feels so
It's
important.
massive, isn't it? That's why it tends to always be full of a bit of drama.
60.
So JB will be back for 104 for the match.
60.
Yeah, Neil
John
Duff
Ricard,
not able to put too
104.
much pressure on either.
Treble for tops. Gets the treble. Wants tops.
84. Neil the car
Well,
154.
all bar Neil Duff producing one out of the top draw, which is not going to happen for him. This will be another one he walks away with, maybe scratching his head, thinking,
34. John Ricard 20.
how have I lost this one? Double 10 he needs. Is that friend or foe?
Game
Very
shot
much a
on the
friend,
match,
a
John
beautiful
Brown.
adjustment, and even John shakes his head there, knows he was a little bit fortunate, but ultimately gets the job done. 90.50 the average for John Brown, 83.84 for Neil Duff. 3 180s in there, 2-1 in favour of Duff, but 5-4 in favour in terms of 140s for John Brown, and a superior finishing percentage. Up next, Richie Housen takes on Chris Quantock.
Welcome back to the MODUS Super Series, where before the break, John Brown got the better of Neil Duff by 4 legs to 2. Also snuffing out the bet builder this evening. See, Chris Mason's not going to have to wear those Spider-Man pajamas after all. Right, enough of that. Let's get into our third game of the evening session. It sees Chris Contock return to the stage, having lost out 4-2 to Jared Cole in his opening match. He's up against Richie Howson, 3-time finalist on the televised stages on the World Seniors Tour in 2023. Looking for success here at the Super Series this week. I caught up with him earlier on this evening. Richie, back at the Super Series, back for another crack at it. Looking forward to it?
Yeah, I really am, Henry. I haven't been here since probably about March last time, so yeah, it's going to be nice to get back up on that stage again.
Lots happened since your last appearance here, Richie. Made a couple of TV finals in the seniors. 2023 has been quite a profitable year for yourself.
Yeah, it's been a really good year, and just riding along with it, and just hope it carries on, really.
And you've just been playing, haven't you, with this massive smile on your face. I feel like you're embracing every single thing as it comes.
At my age, I'm 58 this year, and you've got to enjoy life. You've got to enjoy what you do. Don't put too much pressure on yourself, otherwise it can all go wrong. Just go up there, play your game of darts, try your hardest to win. If you win, you win. If you lose, then you get up and go next time.
As you say, how much are you going to enjoy the next couple of days? Because this is a really, really ultra-competitive group.
Yeah. I don't know how I'm going to enjoy it yet. Depends how I play. No, it's great. All the guys are really, really nice blokes, all very good dart players. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to the challenge, and we'll see what it brings.
And just finally, you've got a good record of making it through to Saturdays here at the Super. You know the question I'm going to ask. How much would you like it to, if you could make that appearance at Champions Week potentially?
Oh yeah, I think that's everybody's dream to come here, win a week, and then get into Champions Week. I think that's the main goal for everybody. As long as I haven't got to go through a 9-dart shootout, then I'll be all right.
Chris Mason's in the commentary box. Don't talk to him all the way past. Richie, wish you all the very best.
Thanks so much, Emily.
Yeah, lovely to hear from Richie. He's got an absolutely wonderful attitude. I wish I could be a bit more like the owl. He's just so level-headed and really just enjoys his darts and, well, reaps the rewards, doesn't he? He's had a wonderful 18 months or so, barring that 9-dart shootout with yours truly.
I was going to say, what happened there then, Chris? What did you do to bore it to? Yeah, but as you say, and just one of those people, isn't he? He's just so multi-talented.
Yeah.
He's brilliant at darts. But
Amazing fisherman.
Yes.
Incredible carpenter. Fabulous artist. And also a great snooker player. He's actually been playing in the... it's almost the equivalent to this, really. It's the snooker 900. Played in the qualifiers. Actually made it all the way to the quarters.
First leg, Richie to through first.
He's been putting a few extra hours on the green base.
Game
He
on.
knocked in a 114 break the other day. And 100 more than my best break.
Yeah, and is that after someone's fouled on the black and they've already gifted you 7 points there, Chris?
yeah, 7
16.
foul.
$95.
So a little change of darts from Chris Quantock
16.
during the practice darts, which you may not have seen. But back to the, I'm pretty sure they're Aspinalls. Yeah, they're
41.
definitely Aspinalls. And there's the other set he's been trying. Only in the, like I say, only in his practice darts. So that tells me that he's not too assured.
59.
Always a worry, that, for me.
Yeah, me too. I mean, most famously, obviously, you've got people like Peter Wright that do tinker with their setup
93.
mid-match.
But back in the day when, I mean, if I'd have took, I just didn't have another set of darts. Just didn't, they were at the same set for something like 20 years.
Yeah, it's just
16.
all very different. There's lots of options. And sometimes, for some players, if you're not quite on it with a certain set and you try... it's like you might go and try another set.
140.
Goes quite well. Keep with them. Doesn't actually then you don't maintain that performance. So you go back to the others, and it's just that self doubt can be a worry.
Yeah, and that's it. It
77.
is self-doubt.
Chris
It's,
O'Carr 132.
when you're indecisive, it's a crisis of confidence. A little mistake from Richie, just missed out on the 18 to
72.
guarantee himself a finish. And again, it's him coming in cold in this game, of course. Kontok already played a match, albeit a defeat, a 4-2
99.
defeat to
Chris
Jared
O'Carr
Cole.
60. $40. Richie O'Carr 86.
Chance here for Richie. Would just be a hole, but would be a real settler for him.
Well, I feel like a break, wouldn't it?
49. Chris O'Carr 20. Getting shot on the first leg. Chris Quantock.
Yeah, early breaker throw there. Chris Quantock 1-0 up.
Second leg, Chris to throw first. Game on.
Just a bit of a settling leg there, really, for Richie.
57.
Yeah, it's not unusual, is it? You
No.
know, not to come out and
Fairly normal, even at the elite level.
Yeah, of course.
41.
As you were saying, just had a wonderful year, Richie Housen, on the seniors. Runner-up in the World Championships, the Senior World Championships, the Masters,
100.
and the Champions. So lost to Thornton and twice,
Yeah,
and Leonard Gates.
it's a thorn in his side, isn't he?
Very much so. I think he could probably be described as a thorn in a lot of players'
Yes.
sides over the years.
100.
You can see the difference of the camera angles that we show you. That Richie Housen's darts, when you see the left-hand angle, they look like they're fairly standard. But when you actually see from a more realistic eye line, you can actually see how low they dip below horizontal.
100. Chris O'Carr 164.
First 180 of the night for Chris Quantock.
116.
Yeah, and a narrow miss there on a 164. But finding himself rather comfortable in this second leg is Chris Quantock.
140. Chris O'Carr 48. Game shot on the second leg. Chris Quantock.
Much more clinical there on the outer wire. 15 dart
Third
hole,
leg, Richie
backing
to
up the
throw
break.
first. Game on. $45.
Just not quite found his feet yet, Richie. He's averaging around 88 for the
40.
previous 12 months in all recorded play, which is right up there with the rest of the field, to be fair. Decent numbers.
45.
And he does get, I know he doesn't live far from the Circus Tavern, but it's absolutely brilliant at this stage of his career that
58.
his popularity has arrived at this time, because there was literally hundreds of fans for him there.
He really has amassed a big following.
No surprise, he's a lovely man, albeit annoyingly talented.
60.
Very much so. Just a little off the pace at the moment.
Yeah, he won't
21.
panic. One thing he has on his side is loads and loads of experience and a very level-headed approach to everything he does.
140.
Very much like Aaron is a cabinet maker and not a wood butcher,
93.
as
No.
I'd referred to a site carpenter.
No.
No offence, of course, to all you wood butchers out there, but yeah, it's like bespoke cabinets and kitchens and bits of furniture.
140.
Here, another accomplished dart player having a good week is Jim Williams.
Yes.
And he does the same as both Aaron and Richie.
57. Ritual car 71.
I admire that kind of thing. Wouldn't have the patience to do it, so tend to just purchase it and then admire
31.
it.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all.
He's going to apply pressure to the tops.
140.
Very nearly a
Ritual car
second
40.
max to get his first chalk on the board. That's going to be awkward. Even more so now. He's going to have to pick a side.
No score. Ritual car 92.
And desperately unlucky there for Howson, as we say, just taking a while to settle in. We'll come back for tops. Has had 5 at the outer
52.
ring so far, Richie Howson,
Ritual
yet to
car
find
40.
it. So another opportunity here.
And again, that's not a useful dart for him.
20. Ritual car 40.
Well, none from 8 now on the doubles. Happy birthday. Oh. Wow. That
8.
marker looked absolutely
Ritual car
perfect. Just
20.
a bump in.
Yeah, needs to come the other side.
No score. Ritual car 32.
Not able to make those adjustments right now.
Game shot on the third leg. Chris Quantock.
Oh, Corny with a 25 dart. Breaker throw. Gets the double break.
Fourth
Leads
leg, Chris to
3-0.
throw first. Game on.
This will completely give him recovery from losing the opening match. And some, if he can turn the 3-0
59.
into 4-0 with the darts.
$45.
Yeah, just not quite happening yet for Howson. And those kind of legs, Chris won in 25 darts in the end. But when you've
100.
had those kind of opportunities, I mean, Howson's 0 from 11 on doubles, which is very unlike how we know Richie can play. And as you say, he won't be panicking yet, but it is just very, very frustrating as a player when you have
100.
that amount of opportunity.
Yeah, when it's just, I mean, well, it's one of those sports that leaves you
93.
wondering what you're doing different to what you were doing 25 minutes ago on the practice board. It's the same board, the same length.
60.
And have you ever had it that the darts are going awry, they're not going anywhere where you need, but they actually feel like they're leaving your hand perfectly?
Everything's perfect, yeah.
What do you adjust in that situation?
That's
Yeah, and that's the difficulty of this game. I mean, I've had the other side of the coin where I've been prepping for a TV game, been absolutely atrocious and feared the worst, gone out there and, and played like $1 million. And sometimes when I've felt like champagne, I've played like lemonade.
131. $60. Chris Car 40.
Well, this would be for the match. This would be for a 4-0 win. Needs to come in for double 10.
20.
So
Ritual
Rematch
Car
darts come and gone for
136.
Chris Quantock.
Yeah, and that shake of the head tells you everything. He's left his
96.
hand and he
Ritual
thought
Car
that's
20.
in. And just won't find the target. Edging closer. Ooh. Wow.
10. Ritual Car 40.
Well, Kwani was gifted one in leg 3. Is he about to return the favour? And again, it's having to pick the open side of the bed
20.
and clips the wire a
Ritual
double
Car
10.
10.
And, well, those 3 darts just about sum up his game here.
Game shot on the match. Chris Quantock.
Ultimately, I can assure you, Richie would just be happy to get back into the players' room and Well, just go through the motions and put in a bit of practice. Quantock winning 4-0, 72-43. He got the only 180 in the match. And as you can see, there was 32 darts thrown at a double and only 4 hit. When we come back, Jarrell Cole against John Brown.
Every Saturday, we open our doors for our weekly finals night.
For a unique and intimate darts experience.
Meet the Dart Stars and even the team off the telly
Here at our purpose-built venue in Portsmouth.
every single Saturday evening.
Tickets can be booked via this QR code
Or at www.dartshop.tv for a very small booking fee.
Follow us at MSS Darts on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram and TikTok.
For all the latest ticketing news.
All you need to do, log on, book, turn up, and the action gets underway from 7:30 p.m.
So what are you waiting for?
Get your tickets to the darts.
We look forward to welcoming you to the MODUS Super Series very soon.
And why don't you join us? You may see some darts being thrown at a board on Saturday if you join us here at the Super Series. Right, we've played 3 matches so far this evening. Before the break, we saw Chris Quantock get his first victory on the board, getting the better of Richie Howson by 4-0. John Brown was a victor in his first game of the night. He got the better of Neil Duff by 4-2. Jared also a 4-2 victor in his first game. He got the better of Chris Quantock by that scoreline. Who's going to go 2-0? Let's find out in the company of Chris Mason and Laura Turner.
Thank you very much, Henry. Yes, you would definitely see some darts going in the
Looks like
board if
Jared
you
to throw
join us
first.
Saturday night.
Game on.
Probably going to see a lot going into the treble 20. Yeah, got the potential for a very good lineup Saturday night.
100.
And if you do want to join us, www.dartshop.tv, or if you've got one of them
100.
QR code scanners on your phone or your tablet, you can just scan that apparently, and wallop takes you straight to the landing page.
40.
Are you a QR scanner, Laura?
Yeah, you make me smile every time you do the technical jargon.
57.
I'm learning.
You are. You are. Yes. Yeah. I think COVID kind of did that for us, scanning menus, scanning this, scanning everything else. Sitting at a table, making your order. Now I don't move.
Yes, yeah, well, they are useful for that. I have been with people
40.
who have done that, and I've been fascinated by it. Rightly starting on the 18s. Oh, full house.
162.
To leave a ton.
$140. Jared 100.
Well, the winner of this match will be jumping to the top of the table. Both
80.
these players on 2
John
points, both with a win each.
164.
Based on what we've seen from their first performance, they've got some explosive periods of play that they've got.
94.
Yeah, both can
Jared
playing
20.
streaks. Just acknowledging how far away that
Getting
was.
shot on the
That's-
first leg. Jared Cole.
Got it right. 17 dart hold. These two will know each other
Second leg shot on
very
the
well.
first. Game on. $60. 58.
This is better.
100.
Just a little tentative in leg one.
It's almost like they're kind of trying to
99.
sound each other out, see what they kind are with their performance in this next match, and don't really have that much time when it's a race to 4.
No, it's like being in a
100.
4-round fight. You don't tend to feel each other out. You got to get stuck in
81.
on the B of Bell.
$60. 139.
And that just kind of shows you one big score, and it can
Yeah,
really flip a leg.
especially when you're in a type of match like this, which feels a
100.
little
Jared
bit edgy.
124.
I say that one visit can turn the leg on its head. Doesn't find the treble 18.
49.
So
Jared
81
81.
for JB for a level game. 12 and ball.
$36. Jared 75.
Yeah, so double 12 for the break.
51.
Oh, so
John Lucar 45.
JB back for 45. You a 13s man or a 5?
13 for me. Not that I can hit double 16. I just prefer throwing at it.
13.
It just breaks down
That'll
much
go down
nicer, doesn't it, as you
24.
chase it round the board.
One thing I tell you I don't like, and that's double 5. So
Game shot on the second leg. Jared Cole.
Jared Cole doesn't mind double 12. And it is 2-0 with
Third leg, Jared to throw first. Game on.
a break of throw. It's fairly low key at the moment, this one.
54.
Yeah, you still feel if John Brown can find a bit of that scoring power that we saw in his opening match against Neil Duff, which saw him run throughout a 4-2 winner.
135.
Yeah, it's not like he's getting blown away by someone averaging 105.
57.
Yeah, but these are the ones that you really want to turn around in the match because it is still well within your grasp.
Yeah, you think if he put 10 points on his average, it may be enough to
56.
roll through the next 4 legs if Jared's level stays at what it is at the moment, around 80.
96.
You know, we're not talking about massive increments of improvement. And you're aware of this in a game,
45.
you know, if I just find some half decent darts here, I can turn it around.
80.
Not touching, so it's only 80. Well, 5 of them leave 170. 7 leave 132.
133.
Personal favourite of my co-coms.
I do like
54.
a champagne shot.
John O'Carr, 132.
Ooh, misses the second ball. You would have fancied that. It was on the outside of the ball,
92.
leaving plenty
John
of
O'Carr,
room.
160.
I was going to say, not another special.
78. John O'Carr, 40.
Yeah, no repeat of the treble 20 ball from yesterday.
Yeah, the heroics.
Game shot on the third leg.
He's done
John
well
Brown.
there, just to get the break back. Feel like he's in the match now.
Fourth leg, John to throw first. Game on.
Finding something funny. Maybe there was a reference to the 160.
$93. $57.
Yeah, big opportunity here for John Brown.
96.
So he's going to hold a throw, but we'll still need to find a break. Another break if he's going to win the match.
55.
We're effectively back on throw here, and if it goes with throw, of course, Gerald Cole wins full 3.
100.
Gerald Cole was the 1 to 3
91.
favourite to win this match. John Brown was 9 to 4.
You know, kind of in line with what you're saying there. Already we've seen results that perhaps we wouldn't quite have predicted. Richie Housen, was he not
55.
settling into tonight as well as what we thought to start off with? So this could be one of those groups where it's going to come down to leg difference.
82.
Every leg is going to count.
John O'Carr, 157.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a lot of results shared out in this one. I don't particularly think anyone's going to dominate it like we've seen Spellman dominate
98.
Group A. It's actually not too bad. Leaving 59. Should
100.
guarantee
John O'Carr,
2
59.
hearts at a double. We have seen some big numbers missed, and that wasn't particularly convincing.
39.
He's had a
Jared
bit of
O'Carr,
trouble up there.
116.
4 19s. Leave tops. How's he on tops? There's
Game
your
shot on the
answer.
fourth leg. Jared Cole.
Yeah, throws his hands up in the air as if to say, well, where's that been? 3 consecutive
Fifth
breaks
leg
of
challenge
throw
to throw
now.
first. Game on.
Yeah, he's frustrated. 2 darts in hand at a double. He will expect to,
96.
well, if not hit, certainly go a bit closer than he did. Just not look settled in this one. Ultimately, night 1, win half your games.
60.
Minimum. And whatever happens, you'll be within striking distance of a place in the top 3 tomorrow night.
133.
More often than not, 8 points are going to be enough to take you out of Group B.
140.
May see the ball come into play. Well, not now.
140.
Is that a shot again?
Oh, yeah.
And we do know Jared. Jared
Loves
does
a bullseye.
likes a couple of bullseyes, yep.
140.
Yeah, and that 140 may
Jared Cole,
force Jared Cole
132.
to go for 2 balls. That's 1.
Just teasing.
74. John Ricard, 161.
Oh, ball. Can he find it?
136.
Super effort.
Pause the game.
Just a little technical issue with our scoring software. So just re-establishing what he had left. I'm pretty sure he's... Well, he hit trouble. He hit the ball, didn't he? Then he had a 5. And I'm not quite sure what he's left. Of course, the players will be aware of what they had left.
Yeah, just back working the scores at the moment.
Technology is... See, you and your technology.
I knew that was going to come up.
If we'd have had a chalkboard up there or some pen and paper, we wouldn't be having this problem, would we? Technology, fabulous when it works. Well, if you're just joining us, Jared Cole won the opening game against Chris
58.
Quantock 4-2. John Brown got the win over Neil Duff 4-2. Kwani beat Richie Howson 4-0. And Jared Cole's on the verge of winning this one 4-1.
38. John Ricard, 25.
And the time of that disturbance wouldn't have done him any favours, and there's a real opportunity for John Brown to get himself back in the match.
No
Ooh,
score. Jared
dear.
Ricard, 20.
Well, we may talk about that a little later because myself and Laura discussed that earlier, that very thing.
Game shot on the match, Jared
And
Cole.
Jared Cole gets it done 4-1. A disappointing performance from both, really. Neither will be happy with that display. Averages very similar. 82.6 Jared, 82.26 for John Brown. But it's Cole that takes the spoils. When we come back, Neil Duff and Richie Howson, they're back in action.
Welcome back to the MODUS Super Series. Before the break, we saw Jared Cole make it 2 from 2 with a 4-1 victory against John Brown. Next up for us, it is our middle match of the session as two stars of the World Seniors Tour go toe-to-toe as Richie Howson takes on Neil Duff. Neil actually jokingly said as they headed up to the Oki, them two, alongside Paul Hinks on stage, saying it's becoming a familiar acquaintance. Well, what's going to happen in this latest battle between the pair? Let's find out in the company of Laura Turner and Chris Mason.
Thank you, Henry. Yeah, these two last met in, well, just a matter of weeks ago, wasn't it? In the World Seniors match play in the
first leg, Neil
quarter-final, and I had to go to extra time to separate them. As it was, Richie Howson just edged it by the required two clear legs, 11-9. So, rekindling that rivalry here,
140.
as it was. Richie then went on to lose 9-5 in the semi-final to a very good Jim McEwen, who went on to lose to, as always, Leonard Gates.
123.
Might as well just call it the Leonard Gates Benevolent Fund now. His pension.
180.
Yeah, this is a strong start here from Neil Duff, not to be unexpected. As you say, these two know each other very well.
Well, it would be very much a case of repeat or revenge.
41.
Slightly different format, of course, but the same mentality.
85.
And Neil more than aware of the success that Richie's had on that seniors tour, on and off the TV.
Yeah, of course. Both these players did lose their opening matches.
140.
Losing 4-2 to John Brown, and an uncharacteristic version of Richie Howson, losing 4-0 to Chris Quantock.
Yeah, that was a
88.
real un-Richie Howson-like performance, wasn't it? He's usually rock solid, reliable, but it can happen to the best of us. You're just off your game. It's such a game of fine margins, of course.
Neil Luca 8. Game shot on the first leg. Neil Duff.
Strong start from Neil Duff. A max in there and a 14-dart hold. Too much.
Second leg, Richie to third
Richie
first.
could have done
Game
about
on.
that, but he will be encouraged by the scoring phase of that leg.
Yeah, very much improved on the opening match. And as we say, Richie's not the kind of player to panic.
64.
Just chalk it up to one to forget.
Yeah, not a sulker. Not a sulker. Very much like me.
Sorry.
Just gets on with it. Forgets about all that
100.
drama.
Oh, you always know how to cheer me up.
I know. That's what I'm here for.
$26.
That was not nice. Not your sarcasm. And
140.
punished instantly. This is very good from Duff. He has made a super start to this match. And he's making Richie chase, even at this early stages.
140.
Yeah, he's trying to chase it down, but Duff really with the initiative here to break and stretch into a 2-0 lead.
60.
Feel Richie really does need another TUM 40 or 2 treble visit.
$85.
Knows he will get 2 visits at 201 with Richie not on a finish. Yeah, rightly going bull
105.
to leave a 2-dart finish when he comes back.
100. Neil the car 96.
So this for 2-0. And that was awkward. The way his darts
56.
land, just a bit
Yeah,
of a blocker.
there was a
86.
case for a double-double there, wasn't there? Single for the ball. Oh, Richie. Got to make sure. Even if you throw a wide one and it creeps into the double 18, it's a bonus.
40.
That's the way I tend to do that, because obviously
Game shot on the
double
second
16 would have
leg.
left
Neil Duff.
32, but all academic now as Neil Duff stretches lead to a 2-0.
Well, we were just going to talk about
Third
that
leg Neil the
treble
third
nine
first.
bust
Game on.
from John Brown, because earlier on we were discussing about how important focus is, and when you're going for a
100.
single number that potentially can bust your score, your brain will naturally just look at it to avoid it, and ultimately you end up hitting it more times than you miss it.
Yeah, indeed you do.
85.
The levels these guys are playing at, it just proves costly, and we've seen that there with Richie Housen and earlier with John Brown.
Yeah, you just
177.
say to yourself, stay away from there, and you look at it to remind yourself to stay away from it, throw the dart and it lands straight in.
$140.
Yeah, third 140 of the match there for Richie Housen. As we say, much improved from his opening match, but Neil Duff
84.
averaging just under 105 at the moment.
Yeah, despite a massive improvement from Richie Housen, although he's yet to get a dart at a double, he's put
60.
some
Neil the car 140.
20 points on his average.
$60.
Couldn't quite dink it over the top.
$81.
Yeah, that
Neil
shake of the
Yoka,
head
80.
just gives me the implication that he felt that was probably going in.
Tops for 3-0.
40. Richie Yoka 135.
It should be going ball. The 25 leaves 110. The ball leaves 85. So, treble 20 leaves the ball. Yeah, nothing
99.
he's trying is coming
Neil
off at the
Yoka
moment.
40. Game shot on the third leg. Neil Duff.
It's rock solid, isn't it? 14, 16 and 16. Nothing particularly
Fourth
flamboyant,
leg Richie to
but
throw first. Game on.
just very solid. Very Alex Spellman.
Yeah, very much so. Richie Housen just feels like he's that one throw behind on each occasion.
43.
Yeah, and that tops finish there from Neil Duff, but once again denying Richie Housen an actual double in this match.
100.
It's not very often in any company you'll see Richie Housen on the end of back-to-back bagels.
100.
Just unheard of. Well, we saw James Richardson go through the ringer the last
50.
4 days.
Yeah, he really has. I think he's won a match since Tuesday in the Group A stages, and even then only managed 2 wins.
Yeah, I think it's 12 defeats on the spin for him.
45.
Although I do think he's going to be seeking some revenge after he lost to his son Josh today.
Well, what I admired about him, he was still motivated even to the
100.
very end today. And one thing Neil Duff doesn't lack, and that's motivation.
26.
And just lots of frustration creeping in now for Richie Housen, who finds himself adrift once again and staring at another 4-0 defeat.
Well, that defence of his world
50.
title is only a couple of months away now, and he's certainly looks like he's starting to play himself into the kind of form he would need to retain that title.
59. Near the car, 121.
Treble 20. Leaves him double 18.
Game shot on the match,
Yeah,
Neil
and
Duff.
that's some clinical finishing there from Neil Duff, who was away with a 4-0 victory over Richie Housen. Richie Housen faced his second 4-0 defeat in a row, and averages there for Neil Duff 98.56. Nice checkout we just saw to win the match 1-2-1, but really good checkout percentage, 4 from 7, 57%. Richie Housen was much improved, but yet to get a dart at a double. So coming up next, we have Chris Quantock, who's taking on John Brown.
Very warm welcome back to the MODUS Super Series, where we are midway through our evening session action here at the Live Lounge. Of course, Mace the Ace, Chris Mason, has joined me up here on the balcony.
Minus my Spider-Man pyjamas.
We are all very disappointed that we're not going to see any Spider-Man pyjamas. No Pikachu slippers either. Right, let's have a look at the results then from this evening's action. Well, it's been a fantastic night as far as Jared Cole is concerned. He's won each of his opening 2 fixtures. Meanwhile, elsewhere, Richie Housen on the other end of that Richter scale, losing both his matches and yet to get a leg on the board.
Yeah, well, we just wouldn't have believed that at the start of the show. He was one that we certainly picked to feature in the top 3. May well bounce back, as we've seen Kwani bounce back from a disappointing start, and especially in the last one, Neil Duff, who was very, very impressive against Richie Housen. And in fairness, Richie would have had to have been somewhere near the top of his game to have got some out of that one anyway.
Let's talk about Jared Cole then, because he's the player who's won both of the opening matches so far this evening. And we've seen every day, as far as Jared is concerned, an improvement.
Yeah, I mean, he's been under the weather and didn't look particularly well on Monday, but sort of battled through. And as you say, improved across Tuesday and Wednesday. And it was something me and Laura picked up on. He's very much a confidence player. If he's had a bad run of results, you can almost see it in him that he's a bit down in the dumps. But played very well tonight so far, 2 from 2, and that's half the job done. Normally 8 points is enough to get you out of this group. More often than not, 8 will do it, and he's halfway there, but only halfway through the night.
But is he the type of player that, following that start, can really use that momentum?
Absolutely, yeah. He's a player. He's a front runner. He's a player that likes to build and build and build, and we may see that through the remainder of the night. But he's got some tough games.
He definitely does. He's got Neil Duff in a couple of matches' time. Talking about the Duff man, well, it's been a night of mixed fortunes as far as he's concerned. Lost his first match 4-2 to John Brown, but then bounced back in emphatic style against Richie Housen last time out. This is the defeat to John, and well, this was one where the bet builder thought Neil was going to win by a margin, but John got the block quite quickly.
Yeah, I mean, listen, John, we've seen enough tonight to see, we know John Brown's a very, very competent player anyway, but we've seen tonight already that, he's in good nick, and he looks like he's going to be in the mix to qualify out of this Group B. And it was a game where they were offering up opportunities to each other, and it'll probably be one Neil walks away from and thinks, well, I think I could have won that one, and for sure he could have, but ultimately it was John Brown that got over the line and picked up the spoils. But the response in the next match for Neil Duff was outstanding. We've seen him hit some big averages this week, and like I said to Laura, only a couple of months away from him trying to defend that world title at Lakeside, and he may just be playing himself into some top form.
Yeah, could have won that game first up, did win the second one, and then, as Chris mentioned, wins it with that fantastic 1-2-1 finish in sumptuous style with the 25
rounded off
first
a
up.
great performance, an average just shy of a ton, 98.56, but every metric you look at, 3-1-4 is 2-1-8 is a ton plus finish, and 57% on the doubles, 4 from 7. That's as clinical as it gets.
So let's have a look at the table at the halfway point of proceedings this evening. It sees Jared Cole at the top of the pile, the only player to win all 2 of his matches this evening. There it is on screen now. Neil Duff, Chris Quantock and John Brown on 2 points. Richie Housen, the only player yet to get off the mark, and it's a big second half of the evening for Richie.
Yeah, but the only inspiration he would take is that at the moment, the 3 above him have only got the 1 win anyway. So effectively, he's only 1 win off joining the rest of the pack. And yeah, I can see this one already gonna go down to leg difference tomorrow night. We're gonna have to get the abacus out, I think.
Abacus season is upon us here at the Super Series. Right, next up for us, it is Chris Quantock in action up against John Brown. Chris is going to make his way down to the commentary box to describe all the action alongside Laura Turner.
Yeah, thank you very much, Henry. And this is a match that will see either Chris Quantock or John Brown move up into second place on 4 points, equal with Jared Cole. And a really interesting one, because I think we've seen the best of both these players. Seen some wins, seen a win each and a loss each. And I think they're going to come with a bit of confidence and feel this is a good one for the taking.
First leg, Chris to throw first. Game on.
Chris Quantock to get the action underway here on match number 6.
140.
And that is a solid start. And we're joined here in comms who've footed it from the balcony.
Just a hop, skip, and a
96.
jump down the stairs.
Quick question for you.
Ooh,
Do you reckon
is
that
it on darts?
No, it's not. It's on potentially what Henry's wardrobe must be like
38.
at home, because now he's mentioned Spider-Man pajamas and Pikachu slippers. I think we're getting an insight into Henry.
And fortnight bedding, quilt covers. Well, I've just been tagged in a
26.
post by our colleague Phil Bars, who there was
57.
an ADC event on tonight, won by David Davis. Well, the quarterfinal was won by David Davis. You
59.
may know David Davis, pal of Jim Williams, who's also in some great form. I don't know what they're currently eating in Denby.
59.
But can someone stick some in the post to me? He won in 12, 12 and 11 for 128.83 average. A first 9 average of 138.56. What's in the water in Denby? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, very good.
But congratulations to David Davis, who's played some lovely darts with us down here at the Super Series before.
$45.
Well,
81.
I'm not one to be a bit of a grasp, but Webby, if you're listening, just text me, please, pal.
And it wasn't me.
57. Chris Yukar, 97.
So to hold, there's the treble 19, double 10.
87. John Yukar, 118.
Oh, that will please Wayne Mardle. Double 19.
80. Chris Yukar, 10. Game shot on the first
Punished.
leg. Chris Quantock.
An opportunity squandered. Although
Second leg, John
was
to
a big
third first.
ask,
Game
but
on.
he did the hard work, didn't he? Getting to the double. Couldn't convert the double 19, which is never a nice double anyway to go at.
No, I think we've spoken
58.
about it a bit. There are just some doubles on the board that we do have to leave them in certain circumstances, but yeah, they're not favourites.
93.
In fairness, anyone that goes in is ultimately a favourite at the time. But yeah, double 19, double 3. Actually, I think the list of ones I don't like are bigger than the ones I do.
Double 11.
93.
Not a fan. Double 5. Not a fan. Double 9. Oh, God, no. Yuck.
I do like double 11.
Do you?
I get told
Well,
off.
I like double 6. It's same place, other side of the same height, other side of the
123.
board.
I do get told off 25 left when we were talking about the 9. If I'm not feeling confident, I will go for treble 3.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm sat here.
140.
Well, I suppose the 17's next door for double 4. But yeah, that's not pretty. It's not big lore and it's
139.
not clever. Unless you hit it, of course, and then it's
It
genius.
looks great, doesn't it?
$125. Chris Yukar, 146.
And he's starting to graft hard here, John Brown. He'll be back for 85. How low will Quanny go?
96.
Yeah, now
John
there's
Yukar,
pressure.
85.
He struggled up there. He's just been a bit timing of release a bit off on the tops, but that is
65.
just grazed the
Chris
wire.
Yukar,
Frustrating.
50.
You'd rather be a million miles away, wouldn't you?
Yeah, just in the top, in the
Game shot on the
10, but the
second leg.
tops
Chris
was
Quantock.
textbook, and that's a 2-0 lead. And Couple of opportunities come and gone there for John Brown.
Third leg, Chris to throw first. Game on.
Yeah, he had a double 18 in the first leg. 2 darts. Well, one at tops, one at tens in leg 2.
But that's the thing, if you can keep creating those chances, keep giving yourself opportunities for doubles, then you've just got to have that confidence in your ability that it will start to come together. But I will say Chris Quantock here is definitely upping the pace.
Well, his confidence is going to grow, isn't it? Back-to-back 140s in leg 3.
81. $96. $45. Crystal Carl, 125. $83.
I was looking for that 25 on the second dart. Opted to go treble 20 first because John is back on 315. So 42 at the moment stands between Chris Quantock
58.
and a 3-0 lead.
Crystal Carl, 42.
Well, you fancy it, don't you, at this stage?
Game
he's
shot on the
playing
third
with
leg. Chris Quantock.
confidence and freedom. Backs up the 14-dart break with a 15-dart hold. Averages approaching 90
first.
for
Game on.
Quanny. JB well off the place right now. He will have one more to play, and it will be against the out of sorts Richie Housen.
45.
Just get the impression as the night's gone on, Chris Quantock's really settled into his pace, his rhythm.
Yeah.
Very rhythmical throw, very rhythmical action.
$140. $60.
In fact, Richie Housen's final 2 games is against John Brown and Jared Cole.
140.
And he's got to find at least one win out of those 2.
120.
We saw it a bit, didn't we, earlier on in Group C? There's just that chance of the pack pulling away. You need to keep yourself in contention.
And the
81.
mental toil and toll it takes on you as well, not having, well, he's legless.
96.
For someone who don't
95.
drink, that's quite funny. Double 16.
63.
And they just won't go.
Crystal Carl, 145.
All tops for a beauty.
125. John
One
Carl,
match start
32.
has come and gone for 4-0. And
Game
these
shot on the
legs,
fourth
even
leg.
if
John Brown.
John Brown doesn't go on to win this match, and he'll still believe he can, of course, they could make all the
Fifth leg,
difference tomorrow
Christopher
night, because I've
first.
got a
Game on.
feeling that this group's going to get fairly congested. Every result we've seen tonight could be role reversed tomorrow
60.
night.
Yeah, completely. And obviously, those 2 4-0 losses for Richie Housen see him on 0 points and -8. It is the worst possible position you can be in, but
57.
every confidence that he can build on it. Already seen an improvement from game 1 to game 2.
100.
Both these players will only have
57.
played sort of local league stuff, or maybe the odd local knockout. They are just
96.
getting rid of a bit of ring rust.
Just seeing I've had an impromptu text from my daughter who, if she is still listening,
100.
should really be
Yes.
asleep in bed right
On
now.
a school night.
On a school night, I know, but just commenting on just how nice John Brown's throw is. Very smooth, isn't it?
134. Chris O'Carr, 145. $41. John O'Carr, 157. $59.
Really
Chris
needed
O'Carr,
a treble.
104.
Can see by his reaction. May not matter once tops.
84.
Yet another
John
match
O'Carr,
start.
98.
The tops has come and gone.
Double
We
19.
mentioned the double 19.
Yeah.
Can he hit it this time?
He's going for it this time. Did opt to split the time before.
$60. Chris O'Carr, 20.
Just couldn't get around it, could he? So, to wrap it up 4-1, in a fairly convincing
Game shot in the match, Chris Quantock.
scoreline. Chris Quantock, despite losing his opening match tonight, has backed it up with a couple of wins and goes top of the table. Averages 87.71, no 180s in there. Both players hitting 3 140s, but the doubling, what a difference. 44% for Chris Quantock. When we come back after the break, Jared Cole faces Neil Duff.
Welcome back to the MODUS Super Series, where before the break, Chris Quantock got the better of John Brown by 4 legs to 1. Game 6 sees the unbeaten Jared Cole in action up against Neil Duff, who responded to his defeat to John Brown with a victory by 4 legs to 0 against Richie Howson last time out. 21 games have been played here at the Super Series today, and only 1 has gone the distance. You know exactly what's about to happen now. Laura, Chris, we'll elect which one of you are going to throw me off the balcony after that comment.
Well, I'm going to throw you under the bus, son, because you're going to have to wear the Spider-Man pajamas tomorrow morning.
First leg started to throw first.
2 so far today go 4-3, so I will give you a pass out. The first one was a long, long time ago, about 10:30 this morning. And it was Josh
57.
against Bradley Roos, and then the other one featured Jared Cole, of course. No, sorry.
140.
Even I'm confusing myself. It featured Josh again in a 4-3 win over Chris Tonders.
46.
But yeah, no matches gone 4-3 tonight. Thanks for mentioning that, because now the rest of them will all go 4-3, of course. Yeah, we've just seen that incredible video, which heavily featured
125.
back-to-back and reigning Champions Week champion, Luke Littler, and he returns
85.
on Monday morning at 9:30 a.m. in a fabulous group featuring Andy Bolton, who's been playing so well this weekend in Barnsley on the Pro Tour as a reserve, popping in 100 averages all over the place. Sebastian Białecki, Patrick van den Boogaard, William Mandiggers, Alexander Merckx and Luke Littler, 4 players in that group, all, of course, winning weekly titles. That's as tough as it gets.
Tough as I can remember seeing it in recent weeks, recent months.
78.
Yeah, Mark Hilton, Jelle Klaas and Jordan Brooks in Group B, Richie Housey, Jeff Murray and Harry Ward in Group C.
58.
Well, now when you get your tickets
18.
for Saturday night, you can also book your tickets for next Saturday night, which is almost guaranteed to be
on the
a
first
thriller,
leg, Neil Duff.
as Neil Duff takes the opening leg against the darts, against
Second leg,
Jared
Neil to
Cole,
throw first. Game on.
who, of course, is the current only unbeaten player.
97. 80.
Just clattered into that other dart, knocked it clean out the board. I think after the disappointment probably that Duff had in
59.
losing in that open match, just come back and very, very strong performance over Richie Howson.
Yeah, and he's continuing that the year, opening with
81.
a 14 darter, averaged, what was it, 98.55 in bouncing back. Pretty much what he's averaging here. Well, 98.55.
Yeah, he's registered the highest average, also the highest
123.
check out with a 136 in that 4-2 loss against John Brown.
140.
Yeah, for all that ticket information and tickets to other big exhibition events up and down the country, head over to www.dartshop.tv. All the info there. Remember, the tickets for the Super Series are completely free. It's just a £2 booking fee.
123. Neil the car, 164. $28. Jared car,
Duff
77.
made a bit of a mess of that, so Jared Cole on track for a break straight back, and
Being shot on the second
that's what he
leg. Jared
does.
Cole. Third leg, Jared to throw first. Game on.
Well, back to back. 14 dart legs. Get this one underway. 2 breaks of throw. Back on throw.
125.
And they know each other very well, of course. Not just this week from the many times they both featured in the Super Series and then Live League.
100. $96.
This, of course, is their 4th meeting of the week.
Yeah, and arguably Jared Cole's best game came against Neil Duff, 94 average, but it was quite a loaded match. Jared really did need
100.
to win in order to ensure a place in this group, in Group B. He did just, I wouldn't say pull a rabbit out of a hat, but the way Duff was playing, it was not an easy task.
Oh, it was an uphill task, wasn't it? It was a real tough game. An enjoyable game, that's for sure.
90. Jared Yukar, 100.
Doesn't need to go tops. Yeah, I like that play.
60.
Very mature approach there from Jared.
When in that position, you just want to guarantee yourself a shot at double next time because you know you're coming back.
Yeah.
69.
Quite often we've seen the tops.
Jared
It
Yukar,
is a bigger
40.
target, we get it, but you can also go the other side and score
Game
nothing.
shot on the third
Yeah,
leg.
and
Jared
then
Cole.
out of frustration, you throw another one and throw that out the board and come back at 80.
Yeah.
And then
Sound like you're talking
Fourth
from
leg near the
experience
third
Yeah.
there.
first. Game on.
hit a 1 and then miss another treble, and then they come back in and go, thanks very much for that. And you're left going, why didn't I just go 20-20?
36. $57.
Yeah, I thought there was a bit of a chance there for Jared just to kind of push for another break of throw against Duff, but didn't make the most of it. And you won't have too many opportunities against Neil Duff.
No,
140.
I don't think Paul Inks gets too much opportunity to do anything else. Just, I think this is approaching or
85.
past his 1,000th leg in 9 days. That's some graft.
It is, yeah.
10
45.
days. It's Thursday. I've lost track of what day of the week it is. Fairly standard stuff for me, that.
Yeah.
I did go on one of those vodka diets. I
100.
lost 2 weeks.
Very good. Yeah, you have to say the referees, especially when they're doing it solo on their own, they really
Yes,
do put in a good shift.
Yeah, it's an incredibly tough job. I've,
55. Near the car,
for a
100.
bit of fun at exhibitions and that, gone up and had a go and been, especially now, I mean, back in the day, it was a fairly simple thing.
60.
They just used to throw at the 20s, didn't they? Now I'm left going, what's left, mate? What was the score? Or good darts.
54. Near the car, 40.
I tried it once, couldn't add them up, but just went 40 left.
Yeah.
And talking of 40 left, now over to double 10 for Duff. And
No score.
I was very much like that at school
Jared
on the
Yukar,
maths. They put
150.
a thing up on the chalkboard and I go, oh, I know what's left. Yeah, but how did you get there? Oh, I don't know that, but I'll tell you what's left.
56. Near the car, 40.
That's why this game is very good for the youngsters, for the math.
Game shot on the fourth leg. Neil
Got
Duff.
ourselves a game on. 2-2.
Fifth leg, Jared to throw first. Game on. $92.
Such a big game in terms of points for both. For Jared, he will feel like,
125.
oh, it's not quite mission accomplished, but if he gets to 6 points and makes it 3 from 3, he's in the hot seat.
47.
yeah, and as you mentioned before, historically 8 points is normally enough to ensure a place in finals night. Ultimately, that's the goal, and that's where
60.
everything changes. Short little group stages followed by elimination. to kind of reset your brain, don't you? You've had so much time doing these group phases that you do have another chance to get back into it.
Yeah, you've got to sort of reset your mind into almost knockout darts, because effectively towards the back end of tomorrow afternoon when we complete Group C, and around this time tomorrow night when we're about to complete Group B, that's exactly what it's going to be.
$130, Neil
A
Ducar.
180 and a 177, Neil Duff. Double 11. Interesting way to go.
Neil Ducar 92.
Traditionally on 139, a lot of the players start on the 57 first now, don't they? Gives them the option of the 82 of ball double 16 or 42 the tops. Double 12 for an incredible recovery.
80. Neil Ducar 11.
Yeah, this isn't a given. Can get messy. But
Very assured single 3 there, wasn't it?
9. Neil Ducar 12.
That was a complete overpitch, wasn't it? It come out of his hand a little early.
Game shot on the 5th leg. Jared Cole.
Didn't he hold it all together well there? And that will feel, well, it was a holder throw, but it'll feel
6th
like
leg,
a
Neil
break.
Ducar first. Game on.
Neil Duff just trying to hide his frustration. Doesn't want to give Jared
41.
any encouragement. But that 41 will.
yeah, and you mentioned yourself earlier, these two have met obviously 3 times already this week, but on 2 other occasions at the Super Series. And it is Jared Cole that's got that advantage, 6 wins over 3. Not that it makes any difference in the
100.
context of this. Each match is taken on their own merit, but
Yeah, you're aware of it. As a player, if you've got the upper hand on your opponent, you do know,
54.
and you know they know. And if you're a bit naughty, you remind them of it just before you're about to go out.
I think that kind of chat was a big feature, especially when you were playing at the top of your game.
Oh yeah, yeah. The practice rooms now are just full of players with them earbuds
60.
in, listening to music or pretending to listen to music. Back in our day, we made our own entertainment in there, and well, Brissy was the master at it. He would have you beat before you walked out.
$139.
Yeah, that's it. So 85 left. Oh, brilliant.
165.
Absolutely brilliant.
Jared Ducar 108.
Is it all going to be in vain? Double 16.
92. Neil Ducar 40.
Thickness of the wire away. Duff playing like he won't be denied, and he won't be
Game shot on
denied
the
of this
6th leg.
leg.
Neil Duff.
Yes, are we going to go and blame Henry now? This is
There you
Seventh
go.
final leg. Jared to third
three of
first.
the,
Game on.
Something where you're not ever meant to mention Shakespeare or something, isn't it?
it's Macbeth, isn't it, to
Yeah.
an actor?
60.
Yeah, that's it. That's the one.
$30.
Yeah, you can't believe it. Only a 60 from Jared, and at this level, that's very much an opening. And he's let him off, and
180.
that's what he does.
Yeah, third 180 the match, second for Jared, but what a time to get it.
100.
Yeah, we've had 3 180s, a 177 and a 165. Oh, wow.
180.
Like buses.
Yep. He'd not hit one since leg 3. And then in the decider,
30.
Finds a brace.
81.
81 left. Treble 10, double 16.
Game shot of the
Clinical.
match, Jericho.
What a deciding leg. A 12-darter in what was a fascinating encounter. 93.74 the average for Jared Cole. And he does make it 3 from 3. And he is top of the table alone on 6 points. 84-88 and a few too many missed doubles for Neil Duff. But he stays on 2 points and currently in a qualifying position. Up next, it is John Brown against Richie Housen.
Welcome back to the MODUS Super Series. I know it's gone beyond the midnight hour, but maybe I do need to wear those Spider-Man pyjamas after all. 4-3, Jared Cole beats Neil Duff before the break. Yep, I mentioned the fact there's been not many 4-3s. A 4-3 happens. Right, next up for us, John Brown is going to round his night off as he takes on Richie Housen, looking to get his first win on the board. Watching this one in the commentary box, Laura Turner and Chris Mason.
Thank you, Henry. Oh, we've had the full card tonight. 4-0, 4-1, 4-2, and now 4-3. What we've not had tonight is a win from Richie Housen. Is he going to... Oh, we've not had a red leg from Richie. Absolutely incredible, really, isn't it? When you consider a player of his undoubted calibre, he's having an absolute stinker. But that could all get turned around. We've seen it before. We've seen players lose the opening two.
Game on.
Win the last two and be in a great position for Friday night.
Let's just say key thing, just getting a couple of points on the board. Key thing there for Richie Housen, but as you say, the troubling
26.
part for me anyway has just been that first match, 0 from 14 from attempts from double. And then you move on to the next one. Didn't actually get a shot at double against Neil Duff, who undoubtedly has had the standout average of the evening, but even so, as you say, someone who's playing as well as Richie has been. Expect him to get a few more points on the board.
Absolutely.
100. 100.
Back-to-back tons.
100.
A relatively steady start from both. You know, although Richie, as we said, hasn't had the win, John with the one win himself. Won his opening match after Neil Duff, who's kind of taken off
100.
since then.
Yeah, this is John Brown's final match of this session. He'll be desperate to sign off for the win. Like I said, it'll be pretty much halfway there.
85.
8 points is normally around the cut-off, normally enough to progress to Saturday night. One thing for sure, if JB does
83.
progress, we'll have the travelling Bristol Army down, which is great for me because I get to see a few of my old pals.
Of course.
56. Richie O'Carr, 118.
Yeah, the Browns, great family unit.
Yes. Yes, what they've done for the community and other people over the years is incredible.
Game shot on the first
there we
leg.
go.
Richie
That's how you
Houghton.
win your first leg of the night. A 15-dart hold and a 1-1-8 out.
Second leg, Richie to third first.
I'm not quite sure if he's got his
Come on.
number because it's only 1-0. I'll get my coat. As they say,
28.
setbacks pave the way for getbacks.
And you still kind of remain confident in the fact that Richie's got more than enough ability to do it.
Yeah, well, we've seen players lose the opening 4 matches
125.
in a Group B campaign, come back the next night, win all 4, and go on to win the week.
Although you get less matches, obviously 4 matches each per night, just because
100.
of the dynamic of the group, there's 3 going through, there's only 5 there. So, yeah, I think you're afforded just a couple more mistakes.
Yeah, unlike Group B, where we say it's 3's pretty much
97.
the maximum. You breach that 3 and, well, the likelihood of you qualifying, there's so many other things that have got to happen in your favour. It's just so mathematically unlikely.
100. 85.
The matches to follow. Neil Duff playing his final match of this session against Chris Quantock. And then Richie Housen will be back in action against Jared Cole, who remains unbeaten currently.
135.
And then they've only got around about 9 hours or so. We'll probably be close to 8 hours when we get off air
58.
until we return
Richie
with...
O'Carr, 138.
Sorry, I've got that. My maths are gone. Yeah, it'll be 12 hours, won't it? Because we're back at 1 tomorrow afternoon. Well, this afternoon.
Yeah. Easy
Commentating past
98.
midnight is always a
John O'Carr,
nightmare.
But it's an easy
136.
mistake to make, considering the first 3 days it is an early start, a 10 a.m. start. So sometimes these days they do seem to merge
96. Richie
into
O'Carr,
one
40.
long continuous day.
Yeah. And again, he's on that top wire. Well, good luck here.
No score. John Newcar, 40.
Just going in the wrong direction there for Richie Housen. So this will break straight back for John Brown.
$30. Richie Newcar, 40.
No, sir. So a reprieve for Richie.
Game shot on
Gets
the
it this
second
time.
leg. Richie Housen.
20 dart hold to back up the break.
Third leg, John to throw first. Game on. $96. $85.
And if you're John Brown going into this game, obviously, you know, we know how well John
60.
can play, but we also know how well Richie can play. And I guess as the opponent, you're almost waiting for Richie to kind of kick on. But you probably see this as an opportunity based on what we've seen so far tonight as a good chance of, you know, racking up a few more points as well.
60.
Yeah, for sure. Talking of Group C tomorrow,
95.
well, we get underway with an absolute cracker with the table-topping Tom Sykes on 8 points against John Worsley, also on 8 points.
59.
And those two, for sure, were the standout performers, weren't they, on day one of Group C? And then there looks like he's a bit uncomfortable with the shoulder.
$90.
There is a fair bit of movement on that shoulder, just because of his style
99.
of throw.
John Newcar, 160.
It's quite a mechanical action.
Exactly that. Very Wes Newton, the wheelie bin-esque. I always say it reminds me of just flapping a wheelie bin open and closed. Bizarre, I know, but there we go.
Can't say I've ever thought about it in that, but now I'm never going to not
40.
see it.
Wheelie bin Wes. That's what I used to call him. If he can snare another treble here, which he does.
135. John
Gives a
Newcar,
different look.
120.
For John Brown at this 120. Shanghai, of course, single, treble, double. Ooh, and another one. Oh, he's just not had it right in his hand.
31.
A couple of times and
Richie
quite
Newcar,
often going
63.
tops. Just hasn't quite got it right.
It does have a very soft grip. Just sometimes as you're going through the forward motion, it can just
Game shot on the
drop
third
out
leg.
of your
Richie Housen.
grip pattern, and that's the result. And that's a result for Richie Housen, because from losing 4-0,
Fourth leg, Richie to
4-0,
throw first. Game
well,
on.
he can half that here, can't he? With a 4-0 win of his own.
Yeah, really will go a long way for Richie Housen. And actually, if he was to win out 4-0, we'd actually see him off the bottom of the table and leapfrogging John Brown.
60.
And you can just see him trying to move that shoulder around.
44.
May need to get a bit of deep heat, and you can see the amount of, and you're bang on right. It is very mechanical.
60.
There's a lot of moving parts in the shoulder, and And for those who have experienced any kind of rotator cuff injury, you'll know how, you know, the discomfort it brings.
Yeah, and you quite often find, although arguably darts isn't the most physical kind of sport, it does create quite a lot of wear and tear on arms, shoulders, hips,
Elbows,
knees, all down one side predominantly.
Yeah, absolutely. The lead leg that bears all the weight, the elbow.
66.
Ironically, I've just finished getting through a 2-month injury to my left shoulder blade, and nothing dart related, obviously, because I'm right-handed. But there's no way if I was left-handed, I'd have been able to throw a dart. This type of injuries are excruciating because they're so deep. They're within the muscle tissue.
45.
But yeah, a lot of players now ending up with RSIs, aren't they? They're repetitive strain type injuries, which there's no magic cure apart from rest. But how do you say to a pro player nowadays, right? You need 6 months rest.
You can say it.
It's potentially £1 million, isn't it?
Yeah, no, I agree. It's difficult.
98. Richie O'Connor, 24.
Richie Harrison, talk about a reversal of fortunes. 6. Can he slide it down the side? There's your
Game
answer.
shot in the match. Richie Harrison.
Richie Harrison goes from bottom into 4th, leapfrogging John Brown. But we have 3 players now, all on 2 points. Neil Duff, Richie Harrison and John Brown. Top of the table, Jarrod Cole unbeaten. Chris Quantock, he's won 2 from 3. There's the numbers, 84.68 for Housen. Very good on the finishing this time around, 40% and a high of 118. When we come back, penultimate match, Neil Duff taking on Chris Quantock.
Welcome back. It's, well, quite flashy at the midnight hour here at the Super Series. Before the break, Richard Howes, the man who'd lost his first 4 games 4-0, won his third game 4-0, get the better of John Brown. Right, 2 more matches to go. Hopefully we'll see some flashes of brilliance from Neil Duff and Chris Quantock as they round off their respective evenings. Right, I've just been blinded by those lights, so I'm going to hand over to Chris Mason and Laura Turner.
Thank you, Henry.
First leg, Neil to do
Duff
first.
taking on
Game on.
Chris Quantock in what will be their final games of the session. I'm sure both will be ready for a good rest and come back tomorrow and when we get to the business end of this group.
Yeah, the current
59.
Lakeside world champion Neil Duff just managing the 1 win so far this evening, but showing flashes of brilliance, just some missed time misses and just people taking the opportunity against him.
140.
Yeah, he was 4-6 favourite for this. Not a massive favourite. It's a favourite against Chris Quantock, who's priced at 11-10.
41.
Well, we've seen, let's say, the best and the worst from them both, but Neil's averaged 83-84, responded with a 98-56, and then a 94-88, and he's not lacked those tonight, that's for sure. The big scores, he's had plenty.
60. The other car, 121.
He could be timing his run of form perfectly going into Lakeside,
81.
which gets underway in the early part of December.
Yeah, just over a couple of months till that all kicks off.
60. The other car,
Ticket
40.
sales have been going very well as well, and they will be releasing the draw and schedule November the 1st, I think I read, which is nice. Gives the opportunity for friends and family and fans to find out exactly what session the players are on and make sure they get their tickets.
$100.
I mean, great for dart fans, isn't it? We go into almost, what is it, 25 consecutive days of darts.
Yeah, it's
41.
from about this time of year I tend to find it's just so immense in terms of the calendar. And you were mentioning earlier, you know, on the PDC side, such a good time for players to really
60.
kind of lay down a marker and build up to the world champs.
You can very much use it to I mean, you can't pick and
85.
choose when you're going to be in form, but you can almost force it by the way you prepare and hopefully you just sort of peak at the right time. And certainly in recent weeks, Neil Duff has started to raise his level of play, and he'll be more than aware and conscious. A lot of money on offer, of course. £50,000 for the winner of Lakeside this year, not to be sniffed at.
137.
Most people would be more than happy to earn that per annum.
Yeah, absolutely. 50,000 for the winner of the men's and 25,000 for the winner of the women's.
79. $54.
Yeah, still currently remains
car,
the richest
98.
prize in women's darts, isn't it?
Yeah, believe so.
Game shot on the second leg.
2-0.
Neil Duff.
As you said, the finishing is lovely. 103.66, an average which he's
Third leg, Neil to throw first. Game on.
completed a match with this week.
Yeah, and I think it was an interesting choice from Chris the leg before. 79 left, opting to go for treble 13 instead
100.
of that
Wrong shot.
Yeah, and paid the price because single 19 obviously allows you to at least have a shot.
At a big target.
If you hit the 20, but yeah, then you've got a shot at a
41.
double as opposed to the ball.
I know what I'd rather a dart at. Ain't the ball. Smallest target on the board.
100.
Not that Jared Cole would know that.
Yeah, but when it goes, it does feel great, doesn't it?
140.
Obviously getting later on into the evening, and just think you just need to make sure. I've said it. You play the probabilities. Give yourself the best chance.
Play the percentage.
140. 140. The other car, 161. $137.
Yeah, Duff's just been pretty
140.
dominant so far.
The other
This
car,
match.
24.
Chris always just that little step behind.
Yeah. And the average would suggest that it's more likely to be completed in 5 visits or less for Neil Duff, and Chris is needing that extra visit.
12.
And this time,
Chris,
he's
your
going to
car,
get one.
40. Game shot on the third leg. Chris
Yeah, that's a
Quantock.
beautiful 13 dart breaker throw.
Fourth leg, Chris to throw first. Game on.
That goes in. Neil Duff for a start, he'd have been averaging 107 and 3-0 to the good, and now he's being
41.
given something to think about all over again.
Yeah, as we were saying, Chris has just been that one throw behind, but even in saying that, you know, he's down to a double in
36.
just 12. Neil's been absolutely pummeling the treble 20, but Chris finding a way to just stay within touching distance.
140. $85. 60.
That's so frustrating. 3 really well thrown darts, and the reward is just 60.
Yeah, sometimes you would rather just have that kind of high dart, low dart, because the adjustment
60.
feels so much easier. When it's
Yeah.
a well thrown dart on the wire, it's quite hard to find a way through, and 2, it's you probably don't feel like you really need to adjust much.
Well, if I said to
55.
you, right, when you have 3 darts at the treble 20 and put 3 on the wire but not hit the treble, impossible.
$180. 55. Near the car, 140.
Well, Neil Duff's wrestled the leg back in his 4th leg. I mean, how pivotal
60.
leg 5
Chris
can be.
car, 150.
And again, left frustrated, coming up dry.
Yeah, well, a win in this leg for Neil Duff.
40.
Goes
Near the
within
car,
1.
80.
And we'll have the throw. 2 10s. You would feel like just everything's being
60.
a bit... Yeah, you can
Chris
see the
car,
annoyance
110.
and frustration. This game should be all over 4-0.
Down for 10 to tops.
90. Near the car,
That
20.
goes in. Duff's would have been left raging. I mean, how many games has he lost this week in similar fashion?
Game shot on the 4th leg. Neil Duff.
Huge relief.
Fifth leg, Neil to throw first.
I did
Game
mention
on.
it a little earlier. And there is confirmation. That is 1,000 legs on the spin over the course of the last
97.
10 days.
Yeah.
Minus Sunday, of course.
Yeah.
We do let the officials have 1 day off.
Yeah, and what has he decided to do with his 1 day off?
120.
Go and referee a county game. That's what you do, isn't it? If you love darts.
$60.
Yeah, going back to that double five from Neil Duff, did see a reaction from him, but as you said, it's just sheer
140.
relief.
Yeah, you end up at 2-2, and in a match like this, you wouldn't be human if you weren't annoyed.
100.
This is how well he's played in the scoring phase of this match. He's missed 8 darts at a double, and he's still averaging 91. In comparison, Chris is averaging 91, has missed just 2 darts at a double.
140. Crystal Car 61.
Good visit, but 36 for Chris Quantock.
Game shot on the
And
fifth
he
leg.
takes
Chris
it.
Quantock.
In 11. Just can't get rid of him. Can't shake him off.
No, and it
leg,
resonates very
Chris,
much
to first.
with the game Duff had
Game
before
on.
with Jared Cole. At times, just looked in complete cruise control and still ends up losing 4-3.
64.
And I think perhaps what Neil can't afford to do is really start overthinking this.
Well, that would be fine
180.
if he hadn't gone through the ringer in Group A.
140. $60.
Yeah, and again, just 2 on the wire, but only ends up with the 60.
59.
I need to treble.
57.
You can see that despondency even mid-throw from Neil Duff.
123. $140. Crystal Car 115.
Fifth 140 of the match for Neil Duff.
$39. The other car 64.
And that 140 has earned Neil Duff the opportunity for a 64 checkout and the match.
Game shot on the match.
Yeah,
Neil
and this
Duff.
time Neil Duff does see the match out, winning 4-2 over Chris Quantock. There were some edgy moments, but in the end, an average of 95.27. 5-ton pluses, 5 140s, and 3 180s for Neil Duff seal him the victory. And coming up next, our last match of the evening will be between Richie Housen and Jared Cole.
Welcome back to the MODUS Super Series, where before the break we saw Neil Duff get the better of Chris Quantock by 4 legs to 2. That means 2 wins from his 4 matches this evening. Last up for us, Richie Howson in action up against Jared Cole. Jared looking to win 4 matches in a row this evening. A 4th victory would put him top of the pile up against Richie Howson in this one. Watching this one in the commentary box, it's Laura Turner alongside Chris Mason.
Thank you very much, Henry. Yeah, great opportunity
Like Richie to throw
for
first.
Jared Cole to go through the
Game
card
on.
after an indifferent start by Richie Howson, who was beaten 4-0, 4-0. He bounced back with a 4-0 win of his own, and he's currently sat in position 4 of
59.
5. But a win here, and he would join the group of Neil Duff and Chris Quantock on 4 points.
60.
Well in the mix for a top 3 finish to qualify come this time tomorrow night. But still work to do for Jared Cole, and he won't be taking anything for granted here.
85.
But he has been pretty much, for me, the player of the night, Laura.
Yeah, I just think he's
48.
found and maintained that consistency. But again, what we've said about Cole throughout the week, we've seen that tonight. He can put in some big performances. Best performance of the night from him coming in his win over Neil Duff.
60.
No mean feat, because standout performance-wise, individually, I think Neil's had the highest averages. But as
Yeah.
I say, in terms of consistency, Jared Cole's been the one for me.
46.
Yeah, it was a well thought out performance. The deciding leg, of course, Jared produced a beautiful 12 dart leg that saw him find back-to-back 180s in that leg 7.
100.
Yeah, but there's probably a part of Neil Duff that thinks, what have I done to Jared? It's the 3rd time this week out of
Yep.
4 that Jared Cole's snuck a 4-3 win.
140.
Yeah, I mean, Neil Duff, on reflection tomorrow morning, he will look at it and think, well, that's okay. I'm sat in position 2,
59.
but he will also probably right now think to himself, I should have got more than 4 points tonight.
59.
Yeah, possibly
Richie O'Carl,
brewing a few missed
138.
opportunities.
$60. Jared O'Carl, 148.
Needs another. He'll stay there. 140 leaves double
140.
4.
Richie O'Carl,
A
78.
bit more pressure on the 78 now. 54 leaves 24.
Game
Not
shot
the
of
first time
leg.
tonight he's
Richie
found
Howson.
the double 6 and holds throw. And now that's after losing
Second leg
8 on the
challenge to
spin.
first. Game
He's
on.
now 1-5 on the spin. Momentum. Got in there before you.
97.
Not mentioning the M word. But we did say, didn't we, that if anyone can really turn it round, we've got every confidence that Richie could do that. Just
140.
Oh, he's a man of many talents, and just proving to us that, he does have those human moments as well.
Yeah, absolutely. He just shows great
85.
resilience, doesn't he? He just digs in, doesn't carry negativity over. Every throw's a new throw.
60.
And I will say, as tenacious as someone like James Richardson has been, I think you can see the effects of losing, multiple games after games, and how that's affected him. And it's, like you say,
59.
it's key, I think, here for Richie Howson to have got that win.
Yeah, and the manner of the victory as well. Everything's quickly forgotten when you get a win like that under your belt.
100.
Just grow a little bit and a bit more pace in your walk.
I guess they say it's not how you start, it's how you finish. But I mean, if you're Jared Cole, you start well and finish well.
140.
If Richie can turn it round and, win the last 2 matches, that's the positivity he can take in tomorrow.
Yeah, and
81.
it's
Data
then-
car
Yeah,
120.
it's a new session. It's a fresh session, and he'll be thinking to himself, "Well, it's all right. I've not lost for a while."
80. Richie car 120.
Well, Jared couldn't do it. Can Richie? There's the 60. There's the single.
80. Data car 40.
Both going oh so close.
$35. Richie car 40.
Yeah, very unfortunate with those first two. Wild on the last, but offers up here a chance for Housen to stretch his lead to 2-0.
Buckles the wire. I'm just not sure he can see enough of the double.
Game
Well, he
shot of
can.
the second leg. Richie
An
Housen.
understacker. Acknowledged by Jared Cole. He was
Third leg,
probably
Richie
stood
the third
behind him
first. Game
thinking,
on.
there's absolutely no... I wish we'd seen the overhead shot of that dart, because they just can't work out how it's gone in.
100.
As you could see from that slightly wider shot there, they're well below
44.
horizontal, and the dart has somehow gone underneath the two darts that were in the way.
Yeah, you would have thought if either you slightly to the right, slightly to the left, but
Yeah, an open target.
hey, I guess at the end for Richie,
140.
doesn't matter how it goes, but the man's a magician.
Yeah.
We add that to a CV if we kind of invite.
140.
Stop it. Can't be good at something else, surely.
$83. $97.
Well, 42 points the lead, plus these. Look how the
94.
angle of entry, which is why I'm still bemused at how he's managed to get a dart directly underneath one.
100.
The perfect
Richie
setup.
car 84.
Yeah, Cole really pressurising the Housen throw, so 19. Leaves him double six.
72.
And
Charlie
this
O'Connor,
time,
40.
not his friend.
Well, the shot came with added
Game shot of the
pressure,
third leg. Jericho.
because that's 4 perfect darts, 180, followed by tops, back in the game.
Fourth leg, Charity through first. Game on. $60.
Just that it's that situation
Well, you
again.
can see
60.
see now from that angle. If I said to you, with he had to get a dart in the 60 under there, it just defies
96.
defies gravity.
Yeah.
I know we'll get the Flat Earth Brigade telling us there's no gravity.
137.
Myth.
Yeah, I'm not quite sold on that yet.
Right. My favourite one
140.
I've seen is someone writing a piece on it saying flat earthers all around the globe all agree.
Oh, yeah.
100. $57.
Not much splitting these two in this fourth leg, but Housen could leave something a bit easier than 148.
Yeah, could leave. Double 12. If he found a max. He takes 64.
100. Data
As
car
it is, it's
148.
104 still. A fair bit easier than 148. Needs another. Double 14. Wow.
You were saying?
Game shot of the fourth leg. Jericho.
The commentator's curse. Acknowledged by Richie Housen there. Richie Housen still has
This
the
leg,
throw,
Richie the
of
third
course.
first. Game on.
It's now a little best of 3.
180.
Richie Housen's first max of the match.
Yeah, first match of the evening.
Yeah,
125.
I was just double checking my notes. You beat me to it, look.
Aha. Great minds, or not.
Well, one great mind, one rather disturbed one, one broken one.
100. $59.
Can he build on this lead?
See, that to me,
It's perfect if you're going to miss.
yeah.
60.
He obviously prefers the challenge of throwing it just above and finding a way through.
$93. Richie O'Carr 161.
Yeah, 161 doesn't have to go here. Just be looking to tee something up.
90.
Yeah, good switch, good use of the ball.
140. Richie O'Carr 71.
Yeah, needs double 10.
51. Jared O'Carr 84.
Of a wire away. Needs the ball.
59. Richie O'Carr 20.
Good effort, wasn't it? He probably felt when that left his hand that that's going to find the target. Can Richie Housen find double five?
10. Jared O'Carr 25.
9 or 1 double 12.
Game
Nails
shot
it.
on the fifth leg.
3-2.
Jared Cole.
And has the darts.
I was obviously listening earlier when we were discussing the perils of
Six
throwing
leg
for a
challenge
9
to
on
first.
25.
Game on.
Saw John Brown slip into the treble and fortunately that busts your score.
$44.
Yeah, and the game, it just feels like it's one of those ones that's just flipped from one player to the other. You think you know who's going to remain victorious.
100.
And very hard to predict.
$69.
Yeah, a couple of loose throws here from Jared Cole, and it's Richie Housen can find a treble.
45.
Yeah, and just cannot take advantage of it.
$92. $100.
Yeah, good last start there from Richie Housen in that leg that he has still in.
45.
Yeah, really well timed 180 there from Richie Housen. Second of the match, second of the night for him.
59. Richie O'Carr 76.
So for a level match at 3 apiece. Down for 16. Back up for tops.
Game shot on the sixth leg. Richie Housen.
Yeah, real clutch finishing there from Richie Housen.
Seventh and final leg. Richie the third first. Game on.
Yeah, Jared Cole has been in the only other 4-3, but has been in a 4-3 match tonight against Duff and did come out the victor.
59.
Came out the victor of that match with a 12, with an 11 dart leg to win.
40. 60. 100.
Yeah, and this deciding leg just got a real nervy edge to it. A win here for Jared would
100.
mean that he has gone through the card, won every single match tonight. Richie Housen, it keeps him very much in touching distance of a top 3
140.
place.
$140.
Yeah, good reply. And Housen down to a finish first. How much pressure will he be under?
57. Richie O'Carr, 142.
This would be some way to win.
$89. Jared O'Carr, 164.
We've seen Jared take out that impressive 160 with 2 balls. Needs a 164 here. Not going to go, so Housen back for 53.
44. Richie O'Carr, 53.
Match start.
43.
2 match starts
Jared
come and
O'Carr,
come
120.
and gone. So a 120 here for Cole would see him win. Needs to find the treble 20. Looks like that's in. So top
Shot of the match, Jared
for
Cole.
the match, and there you have it. It is Jared Cole that runs out a 4-3 winner over Richie Housen. Averages not much between them. 86.44 for Richie Housen, 86.89 there for Jared Cole. But most importantly, that sees Jared on 8 points and topping the table. Now we can go up and we can join Henry and Chris up on the balcony.
Thanks, Laura. Yeah, Jared Cole completing the card this evening, and 2 4-3 victories as well. He kind of drew upon everything tonight, didn't he, Chris?
Yeah, and he got away with one there. And it would have been ironic that a player who went 8-0, the wrong end of 8-0, be the only player to go on and beat Jared Cole tonight. But he just wouldn't be denied, and there was some beautifully timed visits and some perfectly timed mistakes for him to take advantage of, and that's exactly what he did.
Did the right things at the right time, as a famous man famously said. Right, let's have a look at the results from tonight's session around at what we have seen, because Jared Cole has bookended the night with victories. Elsewhere, Neil Duff got off to a slow start in that first game against John Brown, but what we did see in the games that he won was some good levels of performance.
Yeah, and he's slowly but surely got better and better as the week's gone on, and that's culminated in a night where he's won 4 from 4 and put himself pretty much into Saturday night's final. Something catastrophic would have to happen tomorrow night, of course, for him not to qualify. Already on 8 points, that's pretty much, you know, the cut-off. But all to play for the rest of the group. They're all still very much in the hot seat to qualify.
And the key one, wasn't it, that game against Duff? It was the first game of the night that went 4-3. I know. I'll wear the Pikachu slippers tomorrow. So he got the better of Neil Duff by 4 legs to 3. This is how the game closed out. And as I say, it was these big moments for Jared. As I say, the only player to win a 4-3 game tonight. When it came up clutch and it came up big, then he came up with the answer.
Yeah, and probably Neil Duff will be the one that will go away and feel like he should have got more out of tonight. I thought he played very, very well all night, and again, it's missed opportunities for certain players. This was Jared Cole getting the better of John Brown, who made that cardinal mistake of going for, well, you just flash out, your eyes just glance at the treble, and you hit it every time. It's bizarre, but yeah, clutch finishing, great timing, great visits when he's needed them, and like I said, he was a slow burner Monday, slowly but steadily. Didn't lose the plot, didn't sort of become too negative on himself, just improved steadily. And, you know, he's done the business tonight, hasn't he?
And as you know all too well from your experience, if you're going to play well, make sure it's at the latter end of the week.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, you can't win Group A or win the week on Monday. It's just all about positioning and getting yourself in the right position. And let's not forget, Wednesday produced a fabulous performance against Neil Duff to ensure his Group B position, and he's reaping the rewards.
Elsewhere, Neil Duff, couple of wins from his night. And as we touched upon a few moments ago, we're seeing some really good levels from Neil, but maybe there's just the little odd game here and there with him.
Yeah, I think I think tonight especially, and you can say in Group A that when he's had a bit of an off spell or made the odd mistake, sometimes you get away with it, sometimes you don't, and more often than not, very much like James Richardson this week, every error has been punished.
Most certainly. Right, let's have a look then at the league table then, following the first night's worth of fixtures. Jared Cole leads the way, 8 points to his name. Elsewhere, Neil Duff and Chris Quantock are on 4 points respectively. Richie Housen and John Brown both on 2. So how crucial could that victory for Richie Housen in the middle portion of the session be? We'll find out. John Brown getting off to the perfect start, but then losing his subsequent 3 matches. But Jared Cole, top of the table on 8 points, and it's a very warm welcome up to the balcony to Jared. Many congratulations. 4 victories from your night, but it was a bit of a compare and contrast. First 2 games, it looked relatively okay, but you had to win a couple of 4-3s in the end.
Yeah, it's been a struggle. It's been certainly a slug out all night for me. I'm happy. I'm very happy to win all 4, but there's so much for myself to improve on. Like, there's so many mistakes in my game, and I hope I can bring more tomorrow and sort of just rectify the mistakes I am making so that I make things easier for myself.
Let's talk about the story of your week so far then. Monday, slow start for yourself, but you improved as Group A went along, and you've kind of carried the little bit of momentum that you built up on Tuesday and Wednesday into tonight's action.
Yeah, I feel like I've slowly got better as this week's gone on. So, I mean, for me, it's sort of like it was a bonus being in Group B, and now I've sort of done myself justice for being here. I'm happy, but I still feel like there's a lot more from me to come. So hopefully that comes over the next day or so.
Most certainly. So on 8 points now, 1 victory to guarantee your qualification tomorrow night. But the last thing you want to do is to have the look at the table and I suppose then take the foot off the gas a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not thinking about finals night yet. I mean, we've seen it before. People sometimes don't get through on 8 points. I don't want to be the person who does that. So I want to make sure of it before I start thinking of Saturday. But yeah, I'm happy with my night's work.
Right, something happened in Group A. The 160. Talk us through that yesterday.
Right, okay, so yeah, the first treble went in and it just didn't land as I wanted it to. It was very loose and it was very peculiar in the angle it landed. So I looked at it a few times and I just sort of went, I have to hit this because Bradley was waiting on the double. And if I didn't win this leg, he had to throw in the decider. So I sort of went, this is a now or never moment. And obviously I pinned the 2 bullseyes. So it was a really, really impressive shot. But yeah, it wasn't my intention to go for it. But obviously when it comes around, you have to.
Be honest, how many times have you watched that since yesterday?
A couple. Maybe a few more than a couple. But yeah, I've got to enjoy it when they happen, right?
You've got to enjoy the highs when they happen. Right, Jared, we'll let you go. Thank you so much for popping up to the balcony. Right, we're going to see you tomorrow at 1 o'clock when we're going to be resuming the action in Group C to a culmination if we then go live on Sporty Stuff TV from 3. The action in Group B will recommence from 10 p.m. tomorrow night. But as far as Group B is concerned, well, the king of the castle is at the summit.